What's going on, everybody? CaptainRoBear and crew here for Stormforge, episode 9. What, no gobble gobble?
Survived.
Oh,
Gobble.
We miss you, Bife.
Yeah. I guess, like...
That was so unamused and uninspired. Yeah. Well,
He's
yeah,
British. That's the
this is as enthusiastic as I get there. No, I was just like, I'm sad. I was looking forward to, I mean, just hearing Bife's dulcet tones describe literally anything.
As he talks like a meth insect.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a hero. Yes. Yeah.
Right, warrior. Yes.
Like his little and his big arms, just like, yeah.
And it's not fair that he goes off and gallivants around on his birthday dinner after he does like the original, like the Acme Toad move, where it's like it's laying there, he's dead, then he gets up and he's like, "Hello, my honey, hello, my baby." I can't go and do both his voices now. I just got the one down. Our poor insect boy's gonna have to take a nap this episode. Crawl up in his cupboard.
Sleepy. Yeah, no. V was like, "I'm gonna keep the crate warm for you. Like, the blanket's gonna be there for you to come back to."
Oh.
Just bring a closet along.
Just strap it to his back.
What is this? Demon Slayer?
Morton Kanan's closet, just like this little portable clothes space.
God, what a concept. Whoa, now I'm thinking about a Demon Slayer campaign. Okay, no.
Right? I know. Everything that I love, I want to turn into a campaign so bad, and I'm like, I can't do this to myself.
Yeah, because every time
Or
I
can
watch, I'm like, I mean, I've done
Drak,
it successfully
I'll
so
be in your DMs
far.
later. That's fine.
I was literally like, at one point, I was like, God, I wonder what I would do in a Doctor Who universe, and then just produce the Doctor Who campaign. That's just my thing, apparently.
I think Monster of the Week would be good for that.
For Demon Slayer,
Yeah.
I think there's a system called Icon,
Ooh.
and Demon Slayer is literally a class you can play in it.
Mm.
It's really good. It even has like, it goes down to depth of like anime-esque tropes of like charging up your move, so you can give up turns to make your move bigger and reach further. It's really good. I highly recommend it.
I will be in your DMs later.
Thinking about the same creators of Lancer or same publishers of Lancer, so they're pretty solid when it comes to like keeping theme in combat, which is really, really fun.
RoBear, I don't know if it's only on my side, but the stream is coming up as a rerun for me.
Oh,
Yeah,
you know what?
yeah.
I did everything else but what I was supposed to do.
I'm glad I
It's
did.
fixed.
That's fair. I too do things that are there, except for what I'm supposed to do.
No, it's fixed now. I was in awe of I've been thinking that it was the explicatives, but now for some reason all of my videos are coming up as limited on YouTube. So yay. One more thing to find out, right?
Whoa,
Lord.
whoa.
Yeah, so like the live stream is already set to limited. I'm like, we've done nothing. We said gobble gobble.
Already?
How dare you? That is turkey appropriation, okay?
Yeah.
I can say it because I raised a turkey.
I have a friend who's a turkey, so
My
it's fine.
aunt's a turkey, so
I eat.
I mean adopted, but oh,
Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. No,
Oh.
I see why we've been limited now. Okay.
okay.
Wow. The summer of demonetization continues.
Oh, God.
Who's got big announcements they want to share with the community?
No, you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hi. We've got the finale, the season finale. I was going to say series, but who knows? We might have a season 2. But the season finale of Enemy of My Enemy on Demi Playing RPG is this week at Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. After a very intense penultimate episode last week, we are going to see if the hunters and vampires can work together to actually beat this mutual threat. Because right now it seems like at the very least, the hunters are fractured. The vampires honestly seem like they're loving each other, which is very
because
amusing to
we
me.
do love each other, obviously. It's so, I'm sorry, not to interrupt you, but I have to add
No,
this
please.
because I think it's so important. It's so funny to see because as you watch it as an outsider, like you get to see like the hunters are more monstrous than the monsters themselves. So it's just, Drak did such a good job with casting, with everything. Like, just y'all, please, like, I'm biased because I'm in it and I have a lot of fun doing it, but like, please come check us out. Like, above all else, Drak has absolutely fucking smashed it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, check that out. You can watch it on YouTube if you want to catch up. There's only 4 of the episodes, so it should be a quick catch-up session. Just binge watch it. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Ooh, I prefer a mustard session.
Oh my god.
I'm sorry.
I'm leaving. This wasn't in my contract. I cannot work under these conditions.
Leaving. I'm Sam.
Oh!
So
This.
real talk for a moment. Vampire or werewolf? Like 100%. What do you think you would be?
I would be a werewolf. I'm a dog person for sure. I would have, if I had any choice, I would have done like werewolves and vampires in Enemy of My Enemy, but Werewolf 5th edition isn't out yet, so I just physically couldn't do it. But definitely werewolf.
Okay.
I'd be a hybrid. Can I do that? I'll be a hybrid. I'll be Michael from the Underworld.
Amazing.
I don't believe I have to answer this question.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, no, you
Werewolf
are
for sure.
wolf all day. Well,
Yeah, werewolf for sure.
so like the thing
I'd be a
is like,
vampire.
yeah, I've played
Yeah, you
both
would.
vampires and werewolves, and I like them very specifically for like as long as I'm not human, right? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
this is you can tell I'm queer because I can't choose.
I guess I'm there with you because it depends on what kind of character I play. Because I like vampires because when it comes to character tropes, I'm a big fan of playing characters who are very charming and I say charming, but also manipulative, but just physically incapable. Like I like playing people who are like, I'm great at talking and convincing other people to do the work for me, but I don't want to do the work myself. I love this kind of
Gaston.
Respect
characters.
the hustle.
Okay.
I guess like Gaston, yeah.
Yeah.
I
like
love playing
pure
characters
himbo.
like that. I mean, no, because like I think that still I like playing very intelligent vampires, like so intelligent that I can be like, if I say this one thing to this one person, they will lash out at this other person that I want dealt with, and I won't get my hands dirty.
Oh, you
Let's
enjoy
do that.
manipulation.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun playing those kind of characters. But at the same time, I like playing just brainless, strong Kimbos, and I think werewolves are perfect for that.
My werewolf character was very ADHD inspired. Don't know where I got that from. And they were a lot of fun to play. Like they were very like do first, not even ask questions later. But I do like vampires. I think that there is the way that I've played vampires, there's an elegance to them that is really, really fun and powerful. But like sheer strength, like werewolves all day. That's why I'm gonna be, both. Or I could be like Blade. I'll be a daywalker.
I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry.
I
I've
also
thought about this a lot.
I also identify as an old grumpy whistler with one leg and 17 shotguns. Chris Christopherson,
Yeah.
Blade, come here.
Whenever you said day vampire, I thought you were thinking of Colin Robinson's from What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh my god, I love
I
that
am here to
shit.
suck the energy from everybody.
So my original idea before I pitched Enemy of My Enemy was like What We Do in the Shadows style Vampire the Masquerade. But I was looking at it and it's like a lot of the rules here aren't great for a comedy. Like it would be very difficult to play a comedy with the rules of Vampire the Masquerade. A lot of it is very grim and dark. But
That's
maybe
the joy of
one
What We
day.
Do in the Shadows. It is grim and dark, but it's also dry.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Anybody else with big announcements?
No, you, because you were gonna go. You go. You.
I mean, mine's not an announcement. It's just every Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. Every
Stormforge,
Tuesday.
every
I'm very
Wednesday.
tired. Every Wednesday. Tune into Stormforge every Wednesday. Every Tuesday over on Wounded Warrior Project, we're just over the halfway point in our Tales from the Loop campaign, Eden Falls. Sam is in it. I GM it. We have an incredible cast. So, yeah, come and check it out. It is a good, fun 80s time. So, yeah.
It's incredible.
Aw.
Aw, y'all are cute. Y'all are cute. I got a freelance writing gig. I'm going to be, or I am world building for a TTRPG called Daylight Tier. And it is a lot of dragon worship and things like that. And I actually, like, they asked me to be a Loremaster for Tier, so ooh. I am going to be doing that, and that's going to be really fun because it's my first writing gig, and now I get to world build, which is something that I love doing, and like I get to put all of these ideas in my head on paper and create monsters and characters and towns and cities and villages and landscapes, and that is just really cool.
Congratulations.
A dream. That's amazing.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Once you start writing, it's hard to stop. Just warning you.
I know. I know. You
hurts,
should see like all of the extra stuff that I have in like journals of just like creative writing from like when I was a kid. Like I have written creatively like for all my life, and so to be able to do it in a TTRPG space just fills the spoon so much. So I'm excited, and hopefully that'll lead to really cool things where I can world build with lots of people, and maybe I will stop being a little, punk and facilitate more games. Who knows?
Love it. Anybody else?
Yeah, speaking of Wounded Warrior Project, we are still within our 3-week-long event called Capture the Flag, and this Friday we have an Equality and Diversity in Gaming panel for, actually I'm not going to say who it is, you have to come in and find out on 1 p.m. PT or 4 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/Wounded Warrior Project.
Be there or be square.
You can be square, I guess. It's fine.
Okay,
I like to be
there
round.
and be square. Be there and be a shape.
Yes, all shapes welcome. Geometry.
Not geometry.
Please do some maths.
All I got
Anybody
is, you know what? I don't drink 3% beer. Cheers, Voodoo Ranger. Thanks for sponsoring me for another year.
Oh my god.
It was a good tweet. It was a really good tweet.
It
Probably
was
my-
so
Stopping. It's
good.
only 3% of the year.
If you haven't tried Atomic Citrus, get out there and try it. Enjoy these while we still have ads that are bigger than 3%.
You can change those double D's to double S's and that sentence still works.
Picking up where we left off last week.
I almost choked on my cracker.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm chock full of jokes. That's why RoBear likes to try to kill me.
Never.
Get her off the show, boo!
And then the whole shrine explodes, but only Loluphia dies.
It's very concealed.
After. Drak, I believe your NVIDIA has broken. We went into the wind tunnel.
Sorry, Loluphia will stop.
With their quest to head to the Forgotten Lands to take care of a warden shrine hidden under the canopy, shrouded by out of control flora, you guys were able to dispatch of these wild carnivorous giant fly traps. Not without the cost of almost losing several of your members. We pick up in the scenes after Loluphia lighting the shrine and vanquishing the last bits of corruption in the area. You guys are out of combat and safe in the light of the shrine.
I rush over to Loluphia. Loluphia, are you okay?
Yes, I'm fine. And she's on the ground still. Just bringing her hands up to her knees as she sits there and braces herself, just breathing. How's everybody else?
They're fine. Let me check on you, okay? And I will perform battle medicine as I tend and check her wounds. Just checking for any scratches. Well, definitely many scratches.
Girl
Disinfecting.
died like twice.
Yeah. Disinfecting any
And been
scratches,
eaten
checking
twice.
on. Yeah. So I'm gonna be checking up on her, pull out my med kit that's on my side, and start working on her.
No checks needed. Out of combat.
Okay.
Able to perform.
Okay, perfect.
Hang on, I want to try something.
Oh.
So you wouldn't notice it, but as you're helping her, she would actually be healing herself, and like just to make you feel even better about the good job you're doing.
I think he would be like, because he's not using magical means. He is literally like getting like bandages and like antiseptic.
Yeah, she's like holding at her stomach. You wouldn't be able to see much. It's just kind of going internally.
Okay, so yeah, we'll tend to your wounds, and I'll roll with that real quick. As he's just kind of muttering
I think he
to
said no
himself.
rolls needed.
Oh, so no, I don't have to roll HP.
Yeah.
That you regain. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no rolls needed.
Okay. I'm sorry I moved away from you. Should have stayed between you and that thing.
To be fair, they were teleporting, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Fuck. Do you think this is the only shrine that's been affected?
Well, it's only one way to find out. And she's gonna actually reach up to you and actually grab your face, like softly cup both cheeks, as you feel a healing energy go throughout your body from your neck all the way down. And it's a warmth, and it's a warmth you know, and it feels very, very loving. She
He
heals you.
takes your hand and kind of leans into it even after the healing is done, before removing your hands and like just gently kissing the top of them.
We should probably make sure everyone else is okay. I saw the cat die a few times.
Yes. He's been getting himself into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
As you say this, you just hear in the distance frantic splashing in the water. And you see that Myshkin is on his knees and he is frantically scrabbling where the remains of the plant he was swallowed into are. And you see him just bringing out small shards of glass. And he just looks up towards the skies and just shouts out, "Glass vial! I need a glass vial! Anyone!"
You would see this fey dragon with this blanket on its back and a basket kind of hover over towards you as it started to shift back into Lily. And it opens this like the basket opens and he looks at you, kind of gesturing towards the basket.
His ears instinctively moving back at the sight of this little corgi. Myshkin, nevertheless, summons his mage hand and reaching inside, just picks out the largest of the glasses that he can and just starts scratching sigils round the outside of it, and then immediately just starts whispering, "Follow Itarsen, follow Itarsen," and slowly, like a reverse hurricane from above, you see green fire descending down, and this scream, the same voice that you heard from the strange winged creature that emanated from within the beast that swallowed Myshkin, screaming down into this glass orb. And Myshkin closes it and just breathes. "Thank you, little corgi."
Lily kind of just nods and then trots back over towards Chrissy.
Myshkin just nods at Chrissy and, "So you have a dragon?"
So I do.
"Useful." And Myshkin looks in Farouk's direction and begins to quite soddenly make his way over towards him.
Farouk is on his back in the mana pools, just laying there, currently floating.
I love this idea.
His eyes are closed, just absorbing the bit of sunlight that now is permeating from Loluphia opening up the canopy. Like it's his lazy river. It's slowly restoring his body back from the acid and piercing damage of these carnivorous plants. He doesn't open his eyes at all. Myshkin, are you okay?
"You gave me a second chance."
There was a lot of second chances today.
When I was, feeding, the eagle and your people, were those your ancestors?
You came into contact with my ancestors. Did you see the tribal fire?
I did. It was beautiful.
Not many have walked through the fire and flames to set foot on the material plane again. You are indeed a blessed one, Myshkin.
I owe you a life debt, Farouk.
You do not owe me. You owe this life a debt, Myshkin.
Well then, my life is yours. I give my life to you. Should you ever need it. I thought I wouldn't have the chance. Second chances, like you said.
Myshkin, he's going to open his eyes and kind of sit back up, shake a little bit of this mana tide off. My people believe that you have a general responsibility in life to your clan to take care of each other. This is not your purpose. It is always our duty to take care of the ones that mean the most. You have a greater purpose to fulfill. It is not your time to walk across those coals and not see the sun of this material plane. Enjoy its warmth. Do not take it for granted. And use the good days to further yourself professionally, spiritually. And he's gonna chop the water and send it, try to splash some over your face. And don't get yourself killed either, for God's sakes. It's hard ripping you out of plants.
Yes. My apologies. And Myshkin, I'm gonna try and hide it, but Myshkin does smile. Where are we? Stealth. Let's do a stealth.
Oh.
We can't see the roll log, by the way.
Sly grin.
Stream.
No, they will in a second.
Myshkin smiles to himself and walks off to... For as nice as these waters are, it is still water, and he is going to step outside of it.
My God, what is happening?
Now.
Sure. Now we get these 20s.
That
Offer a smile.
rollies. Roll a d20.
That's a high line.
Another nat 20. Gonna get another nat 20.
Faroük sees your well-hidden sly smile and drops a very large one of his own as he finally swims back to just kind of rest his shoulders on the stonework of this pool.
Myshkin is going to make his way in the direction of the shrine and the reunited couple at its top.
It's good to see you lived.
I still have 8 lives left, thanks to our friend.
Is it only 8? Pretty sure you lost 2 earlier as well.
Not quite like this. So, the shrine... what is it? And he is going to start making his way and just looking at the runes and taking in as much as he can.
Do we know this answer, RoBear?
The answer to...
What is
The shrine exactly is.
Oh, what the shrines have been built by the warden specifically to be beacons and respite of adventuring. So it has fresh water. It has runic protection from creatures around it. They're literal safe zones in the darkness.
Well, it's supposed to be a place of safety. But it very much wasn't that, was it?
So why would a creature of the Fae be so interested in it? And he glances in the direction of Chrissy and what he now understands to be the Fae creature that travels with him.
I honestly couldn't tell you. It has all the makings of a great place to stay. I think especially for a plant with mana waters. Beyond that, I really don't know.
Generally, when shrines are taken over, it is because they have tapped in to the energy source that is the runes or the mana waters and have been using it to absorb the natural power that's there.
Or we know it could be just a very animalistic behavior of finding sustenance, and this place has plenty.
Well, it appears we're in the company of an expert. Perhaps it might be worth talking with the Oracle. And Myshkin glances at Loluphia specifically in a kind of, if you would be okay with that.
Kallisto
Wow.
This is
also
Sam
gives that
smiling
look.
Well, I would think, like, while that conversation is happening, Chrissy is already starting to, like, prepare for something. Just from what you can see, like, his little arms are kind of moving a little frantically between the bits and bobs that he has, you know, on his person. Lily is, you know, making sure that he's close by with the basket still open for anything else. And it doesn't make sense to y'all. It's not supposed to. But he is just placing very small obviously very small crystals. He's 9 inches tall. In a various array around him, and kind of obsessively looking to see that everything is in place.
Yeah. I mean, if that's what you would like to do, we can talk to the Oracle.
Well, it is your shrine and your business. I am just offering advice.
She
I
turns
can-
to Kallisto. Says, like, you take this one.
Kallisto just nods. Yeah, no. You get some rest. I'll do the talking. And I will go and approach Chrissy.
Chrissy notices, but holds up a very, like, strong, firm finger as he takes a step back and is just looking at his work. And RoBear, what I'm trying to do is cast Read Omens. So ideally what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to shut myself off for a moment from the world. I am trying to reach out to Nixie, my deity, to see what the message is here. I want to know why this occurred, if I can. I want to catch a glimpse into what that creature, how that creature got here.
Roll your spell attack.
Spell attack?
Mm-hmm.
All right. $33.
Kallisto, when you approach, you find Chrissy in heavy disconnected meditation. On the back end of this 5 or 10 minutes that it's taking you to just concentrate, to try to pierce the veil and ascertain something from this shrine. I see when you concentrate and close your eyes, you see the vast forest for the Forgotten Lands as it is. Massive green carpet canopy from horizon to horizon. And it's this sheer feeling of being overwhelmed. The Forgotten Lands is just so large, and there's only so much that so many wardens can do. It's like trying to handle one of our great state parks with a handful of people. Eventually, nature wins and takes back over. And in particular, in these lands where the ley lines run deep through this mountain, oddities occur.
Okay. Okay. Just I'll roll whatever I need to, that's fine. But is there more that is happening either now or shortly in the future that I can grasp onto that feels pressing?
It showed you the overwhelming weight of the sheer territory of the Forgotten Lands. There's activity everywhere.
Okay. So there's nothing like super specific, it just is this very all-encompassing feeling.
It is so dense and like a weight on your chest. It's like a compass spinning out of control.
Okay. Okay. I think there's silence for a moment. And then, just for flavor, only Kallisto can hear, since he is closest to like this sacred space that Chrissy kind of commanded and created. It's too much. The weight is unbearable. I feel like I'm being suffocated amongst the greenery. The wilds. It's not containable. Chrissy's eyes are still closed, and his mouth is not moving. But you can see him visibly grasp at the cloth just above his chest and start to almost like tear it slowly as he is weighing himself down in this space. It's too much. We can't. It's too much. And at that point, you just see Chrissy's eyes fling open as he almost falls forward onto his face, shredding his gown.
Kallisto is not taken aback by the voice in his head. He's had that on many occasions when Loluphia and he communicate through their necklace. But is a bit taken aback at the sudden reaction as they take a step back and then hasn't stepped forward and then staying in one place and just... Chrissy, are you okay? What's wrong? What's happening?
Chrissy looks up at you and there are tears in his eyes. And there's almost this look of confusion on his face. I'm okay. Wow, this place is really freaking heavy.
Yeah, I'm guessing you mean the Forgotten Lands. You get used to it after a while.
Well, yeah, I mean, I lived here most of my life, but it just... Well, I mean, there's way too much work for y'all.
Yes, but someone has to do it.
Loluphia would
Suffocating.
approach during this. After seeing you go through something that she doesn't understand. What's going on with you?
For as beautiful as the Forgotten Lands are, there's a lot going on here and not enough hands to keep everything at bay, and it's very overwhelming. I can imagine for you. I only felt it for a fraction of a time.
I do agree it is a lot. Most of the time we're just trying to keep adventurers at bay from getting into the wards. But other than that, I don't know.
Understandable. There's everything happening everywhere, and it doesn't feel like home. It feels unnatural. It feels heavy.
Do Kallisto and Loluphia feel this weight? Or no, because it wasn't our...
No, you know the general burden that it is to be a warden can be absolutely taxing, but it's something that you signed up for, and I imagine that over a course of time, that weight, unless your character is particularly heavy, empathetic, kind of becomes the status quo, and you're kind of used to it.
Noted.
I think maybe, I don't know, but just for clarification, you did mention the ley lines. Was there anything like different with them as I felt it, or was I just feeling the burden?
Feeling the burden and your general knowledge that there are strange things happening inside the mountain from your previous visions.
Yeah.
It seems as if the mountain feeds everything through the ley lines right now. It's the beacon that is causing the overgrowth is what it feels like.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
it's the food source to the heavy corruption.
Okay. Because I'm going to say just being Fae, like the Fae lines feel yuck. A little bit. Or they just feel different. Not necessarily yucky, but they feel very concentrated from this point.
And you can kind of understand that while this creature is closer to an abomination than just nature, it seemed confused on where it was at and what it was doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So then I look up at Loluphia specifically. The ley lines, we need to check out that mountain. It's not the first time I've seen it in my
How many
visions.
times have you seen it?
Twice in the last day.
Interesting.
Once with
You know,
Myshkin. And now.
She looks back at Myshkin and back at Chrissy.
you know what parts of the mountains?
I can't see
West
that part
side, east, north, no?
clearly yet. But
Before I was moved to my current jurisdiction, for lack of a better term, I was the warden of parts of the mountain. So
did you
depending on
notice
where-
anything happening there?
Would I have noticed anything happening there? This was probably 2
Unless it could be
years
in
ago,
regards
3 years
to-
ago.
Something that came from my ward.
Let's roll and find out. In this case, let's do.
I would also like to roll, just because of knowledge of the wards.
So I became a ward like 10, maybe 11 years ago, and only switched over to my current jurisdiction with Loluphia about 3 years ago. Before then, I was always around the mountains.
Let's roll your choice. Nature or survival.
They're both the same for me. So I'll do survival. Actually, are you gonna
I'll do
roll as well,
nature.
Sam? Okay, cool. I was gonna say like we can do opposite ones. Okay.
24.
23.
Jesus.
It's all the time.
We're so
Either
married.
exa-
It's gross.
It's just gross.
So success, DC 22. The mountain is even more vast than the canopy. There are endless tunnels from the old mines that take you places that you never thought that you would see underground. And it's had its fair share of anomalies, no doubt. But it's one that's even more resource taxed than where you're at. Because even though there seems to be even more issues inside the mountain, people encounter what's outside of the mines. And what puts the general public most in risk is still trying to navigate the old roads that are now bandit plagued and filled with overgrown flora and fauna. It's like you're constantly putting a bandage over a wound that you know at some point in time has to be tended in a different way. Feel free to insert any kind of experience that you so wish that you may have encountered inside the mountain. You're free to create.
I'm sorry. I've seen this mountain 3 times with Kaivar as well.
Perhaps, and forgive me, but when you had your vision with me, perhaps I was confused, and that divination is not something I am as well versed in. But when you mentioned the mines and the mountains, and specifically, and he glances between the others, my friend Brudar, I thought you meant there was a mountain beneath the floating city itself, but you meant down here in the Forgotten Lands.
I suppose so. With divination, it's not always clear. I just see images, sometimes sentences, sometimes sounds or smells or pictures. But this mountain, everything is leading there.
You mentioned also that there was an airship or vehicle unimpeded by stone. You believe that is where this thing lies as well?
I think it's important to check out. I don't know what's there yet, but my goddess wouldn't show me something frivolously.
Well, I am happy to follow your visions wherever they lead, if they are indeed pointing towards my friend.
Chrissy smiles softly, solemnly, and nods before looking to Kallisto and Loluphia, and then to Kaivar and Farouk. I have to use caution in looking for answers, because it is possible that if I go looking too hard, the information I get will not be clear. It will be muddied. But that creature, it felt lost. And I envy it. I also pity it.
You think it was detached from something larger, something it called home, perhaps?
It felt tainted, confused, much like a fresh spring apple that has been taken over by worms.
During this, Loluphia would communicate to Kallisto psychically. Do you think it's the creature that got away from us?
Kallisto grabs his arm, his left arm, as he kind of folds them in front of him, and in response psychically through the necklace. Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
I don't know if it's exactly the way that Chrissy's describing, unless it's another creature as well. But if it is that one, we may need more help.
Yes, I'm not sure who else we can ask, so we can probably contact other wardens.
Potentially.
But with how thinly spread we are as is, I think we might need more evidence that help is needed before we can.
Should we take them to our manor? At least for respite.
There's hesitation, which I think is not odd, but I suppose unexpected, at least a little bit, from Kallisto, but he'll respond. Yes, that might be best. We've been away for too long anyway. We need to get back to our station.
Well, if you want to bring it up, and her necklace goes dark.
So I was about to ask, every time you communicate psychically, they glow, don't they? Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Yeah,
you would
Chrissy,
know.
Chrissy
You just don't
saw
have the
it.
conversation.
Chrissy doesn't care. Chrissy's
Man,
deal.
I can't handle Chrissy. Oh my god.
Chrissy don't care.
Oh
Chrissy's
my
like,
god, fuck him.
I mean, that's fair. Chrissy's not necessarily the harbinger of good news, just the harbinger of news.
You would see Kallisto's necklace would glow a blue similar to the eye color of Loluphia whenever he's using his.
And hers would ignite purple, similar to his eye color.
Y'all, I cannot.
I know, we're disgusting. I love it.
Ugh. I think Chrissy just stands and looks down at his tattered gown, revealing like his oddly muscular chest, but there are scars. Honestly, like it looks like a bite that kind of just got him from the side and sank down. So there's a crescent shape of like teeth mark both on his chest and on his back. And he quickly turns, like having realized that like he is now exposed, he quickly turns to Lily and grabs the blanket off his back and just kind of like throws it over himself. Sorry. Maybe we should leave?
When you do that, you feel a hand on your shoulder. It's a small insectoid strong hand. As Kaivar has kept up in the conversation. And it's just a reassuring gesture as he points down as his other three hands are frantically trying to fix his voice box. As you can see, the acid has melted away some of the gears on the side. And you can see the sadness in his eyes that he can't communicate with the rest of the group. but he's just trying to reassure that he's there with you.
Yes. We should likely get moving, unless anyone wants to take a few more moments in the mana pool. Probably won't find any shrines of this size for a bit anyway. So enjoy it while you can.
Farouk is just coming out of the pool. Has missed all of this. You're really missing out back there.
I don't like to get my wings wet.
As you say that, Loluphia grips into her cloak and just kind of pulls it around her.
Well,
We should get going soon.
yes, I have no desire to stay in this place any longer than we need to.
Yeah. Well, we can head to our lodge. It shouldn't be too far west from here. We can go there, get some food. We have some food stored there. And I'll turn to Kaiva. I have some tools that I can use to help work on your Vox, if you're okay with me doing that.
Oh, his eyes light up as big as they can. It's like, and like you can tell that he's showing you like your friends that are really into their new technology that's like you could really care less about. They're showing you a brand new camera. He's showing you bits and parts. Like he's enthusiastically like he thinks he knows how to fix it. But yeah, he's very excited.
I'm going to take that as an affirmative response. But how does that sound to everyone?
If it means cover and if it means rest, I'm all for it.
That is exactly what it means.
Chrissy nods and climbs up on Chrissy and is just holding the blanket tightly, very silent at this moment.
I will advise, though, Farouk, I don't think you will need to worry too much about that, but everyone dry your clothes if you can. The temperatures get inconsistent while you're out in the Forgotten Lands, and being wet might not be great if it suddenly becomes very cold.
Shall we rest by the fire shortly before we descend back in to the canopy?
As you ask that, Loluphia is gonna just wave her hand, and there's like a gust of air that goes around you. And it dries a lot of your hair that like kind of gets stuck.
Farouk's hair puffs out a little bit and frizzes.
Sorry, I didn't
Myshkin.
want that part to happen.
It's okay, yes. He takes out a massive thing of argon oil and begins the process.
Keeps argan oil on him.
Farouk gets to live my life. He gets to sit here and oil this frizz down. Oh, I can't live without that stuff, dude. I'd look like Troy Polamalu if I didn't have freaking argon oil, dude.
Seeing Myshkin wet, she would do the same.
Myshkin just looks at his body and up at Loluphia and just... What direction did you say your house was in? Thank you.
Westward.
West it is. Myshkin stalks off west.
Chrissy
We're not taking a short rest?
But to say, we might want to rest a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's stuff on the way.
I think
She grabs your
like,
collar.
Chrissy's just like gone right now, like just thinking, lost in thought as he normally is after experiencing any kind of vision. He is trying mercilessly, tirelessly to like figure out the intricacies of what everything meant.
Yeah, Kallisto will take definitely take the short rest, and I think at some point during it, 'cause I believe it's like an hour, he will go over to Myshkin. And like just very silently at first, just sit beside them.
As you do, you see that Myshkin is sort of patting his fur down and sort of just making it a little scruffier and less poofy. But you see that as he does so and sees you approach, his wrists very quickly descend from the top of his head, and he just watches you sit.
And there's just a few seconds, no more than like 10, 15 seconds of silence as they enjoy the heat of the fire. And then Kallisto, still not turning to Myshkin, thank you.
What?
I've known you for less than a day, and you've already put your life on the line for my family members twice.
It's the least I could do.
When you ask about my scars, they're a sensitive topic, figuratively and literally. I appreciate the concern, and I just want you to know that I didn't decline help because of any mistrust. Like I said, you've put your life on the line for my family. Far too many times for me to mistrust you. But many minds have tried to understand what is going on, and none of them know what is going on. So I just like to keep it as out of mind as possible until it needs to be at the forefront.
Myshkin nods and he turns to you, his green eyes glinting in the firelight. I also understand that some scars run too deep for others to understand. However, it hurts. Am I incorrect in that assumption?
Yeah. A constant pain. I say it's dull I think it's only dull because I've gotten used to it. And it only becomes more inflamed. And he kind of laughs at himself when he says that. When I use my flames, or when I come into a bit too close contact with them.
I cannot pretend to understand this wound that you have, but I should like to try something just to ease the pain a little, if I may.
The worst I can, and he will remove his overcoat and start to unwrap the bandages.
Loluphia would grab your arm for a second. What are you doing?
You don't know what he might know. He might
Well,
have
that's
some.
the thing. We don't fully know him.
He nearly died trying to protect you. The very least I can do is trust that he doesn't mean me harm.
She hears your words, and she reluctantly loosens on your arm and just pulls her her cloak in a little bit more. She watches.
No, continue to unwrap. Show the arm.
The sun pendant around Myshkin's furry neck glows green, and on his right wrist, a scaled hand appears as he just presses it down gently, cooling to the touch against your arm. And he's going to use Elementalist Dedication. Usually, he would use this on himself at the start of each day, and he is able to choose an element that he has some resistance towards up to half his level. But he is going to reach out, and he is going to try and transfer this gift just for a day to you, and relieve you of at least some of the pain that you feel from fire. And he lifts his hand, and it dissipates, and looking between you and Loluphia, he just very quickly mutters, "I don't know if it will work, but like I say, the least I can do." And he steps up and begins to walk away towards Farouk.
Kallisto looks down at his arm. This ability gives resistance, or does it like increase resistance by that amount?
So for me, it just gives resistance. So yesterday I had fire 3. So it would deduct 3 from any fire damage that I took. I don't know if that stacks. That's a RoBear question, but yeah.
You get fire resistance for how long?
Just until you take another long rest. It's just at the start of each day.
Ooh. Yeah, he gets the extra 3.
Okay. In that case then, the scarring, I've described it before, but just describe it again. From his elbow up to, honestly, part his shoulder and part of his chest and abdomen, I think right now he's only revealed his arm, is like molten rock. You can see it goes from the typical black skin to pitch black, almost like charred skin, and with cracks of slowly glowing orange, almost like lava beneath the surface. And it has spread a little bit further than before, thanks to the fight with the clockwork dragon. And upon getting this ease of pain, I think there's not too much of a difference. Kallisto has always had a resistance to fire, and this scar seemed to bypass a bit of it. But its additional resistance to it has been displayed as a fainter glow. The orangey red cracks beneath the skin have become slightly dimmer, as if the flames beneath the surface have been quenched only a little bit. There's no real change in Kallisto's demeanor, and I think even Kallisto barely really feels any difference. But he is aware that there was an attempt at the very least, and something had happened. So he kind of nods appreciatively, but doesn't say anything as he watches you step away. Eyes before wrapping his arm back up again. And I think he looks to Loluphia I'm gonna try and roll a deception. You can try to do an insight. but
Oh,
I'm
I
trying to
will. I'm your wife.
Always inciting.
Oh, that's bad. Okay. Insight
there's
with
no
perception.
insight.
Perception.
Silly. Huh. Roll.
Oh,
you're so good.
Oh no. Okay. Yeah, you don't see it.
Hidden.
Kallisto kind of just turns and smiles at you.
She was watching Myshkin as he walked away.
And then we'll just turn back to the fire. I think just quietly tinker with his pistols, just doing some maintenance on them. And I think even with that one on perception, you would know that you just know Kallisto in whenever he does resort to tinkering with his pistol, when he already has like done the maintenance, he already did it this morning. It's usually a keep my hands busy so I don't have to think kind of thing. But you don't, I guess you can't tell why.
No. But she would probably just sit next to you against a pillar and slowly drift off to sleep as she would like hit your shoulder. She couldn't stay up.
He still has his overjacket off, so he would put it over her shoulder as she sleeps.
I think Chrissy is just kind of doing what Chrissy does and is like off by himself with Lily. Notebook out, writing down something. It's the events of the day, it's the visions. But his handwriting is so small that unless you're like in it, you're probably not going to be able to really understand. And he just seems really distant, and he's still kind of holding on to that blanket. Before he puts his writing and utensil down and just closes the book, puts it back in the basket, and takes a deep breath, and then curls up on Lily's back and just drifts for a little bit.
Farouk, if you would like to rest, I can take first watch.
Myshkin, get your rest. You've earned it. I'll be fine.
If you're sure.
I'm sure. I'm going to enjoy being down here with nature for just a little bit longer. Farouk is just going to take in the sound of the forest for about the next hour, just enjoying having his feet on the ground and being back in the Forgotten Lands for the first time in many, many decades. Before even him peering out to the fireflies in the distance, leaned up against one of these columns, slowly going to slip into a very comfortable nap.
I think that leaves Kallisto as anyone awake.
Kaivar is probably awake.
Yeah.
He's sitting there with his erector set.
Kallisto wouldn't dare move when Loluphia is sleeping on his shoulder, that's his bliss. He's not moving. But he will, like, as best he can from his position, keep an eye out.
Question, RoBear.
Mhm.
Really quick. So full rest is 8 hours, short rest is 4 hours. I know that elves and Pathfinder have the trance for 4 hours kind of sleep, and that counts as a full 8 hours. Since that's my ancestry or heritage, I don't know the one. Do I also have that?
I think that's a feat you have to take. I
Is
can
it?
check real quick. I
No,
think
Google's
so.
giving me conflicting answers. I'm confused.
Oh, if it's just part of a thing that's.
It just says it's a
They
part of the
can do.
race.
Oh yeah, then you just have it then.
So mine would be like a full rest for a short rest.
Well, it
If
will.
In
It will.
Pathfinder, there is an
Fair.
actual short rest.
Yeah, short rests are our own invention.
Yeah.
But in this particular scenario, you guys are getting a full rest here. Everybody is so.
Okay.
Wait, why did that? Okay, interesting. Oh yeah, Pathfinder is really.
Yeah, it makes you click it
Specific
like
with how
6
much
times.
Yeah, because Pathfinder is real brutal with their rest. You don't get full health; you get like your con plus your level, something like that.
You get the worst
long
sleep of your
rest.
life.
Yeah,
You still have all your horrible conditions. Life is miserable, and you had nightmares. Yeah, so it's easier just to hit the rest for one night and then to just refill your health.
yeah.
So would I still be 2 levels of wounded? Is that right? Or...
No, I wipe it off once you get
Ah.
rest.
My goodness, thank you very much.
Yeah. Perpetually hobble you. No. Negative
How
Ghost
do I-
Rider.
How do I get Oh, there we go. Ha! Ah, there we go. Hold on. Lovely. So, Myshkin, upon waking, I don't know if anyone else is going to wake first.
Since we are in
Chrissy's-
the shrine, Callisto and Loluphia will definitely be the first up.
What to
Without
say,
having
since
to
I also
roll.
don't have to sleep a long time, she would already be not
You're
awake,
already
but
up.
she can hear you.
I would have kissed Loluphia on the forehead before gently waking her. Though I imagine, honestly, they both are like, okay, we should leave about now. So just as I'm kissing Loluphia on the forehead, Loluphia's waking up anyway. Should probably get going.
Where is Myshkin from us?
Probably just on his own in a corner of the shrine, just curled up, tail wrapped around his body as he just slowly stretches and...
Oh, good morning.
Good morning. Thankfully, I have excellent bed hair. And he just gets up and starts to...
Oh, you're gonna be
Smooths
bitter
it a
about
bit.
that, huh?
A little bit, yes.
You're lucky I didn't add the electricity with it. And the fire would have been wild.
Yes, I imagine so. Are we heading off soon?
Callisto's looking back and forth between Loluphia and Myshkin and has the biggest smile on his face and just goes, you two are getting along.
She
Like a
just
house on fire.
What did he say? Sorry, I missed it.
Like a house on fire.
It's better than nothing, I guess. Yes, we're probably going to be getting going soon. And I'll look over at the rest of the group as they're still asleep, I imagine, or waking.
Chrissy he's awake. He did sleep. It was brief. He he looks like a man who's got some stuff on his mind.
I'll do. Oh, yeah.
What does Farouk look like as he sleeps?
Classic lazy boy recliner dad.
Oh God, that's so specific, and I know exactly what that is.
Does he have the hand on the belly?
They're like interlocked underneath the belly.
Yeah. The head that's like down to the side.
Down
all
to the side, the side cradle, 100%. This look in
He's
full
almost got
headdress.
like a phone to him.
Yeah, he's got that large wooden eagle pauldron on the side. He just kind of stretches right up in that thing.
I almost feel bad waking him up. Farouk? I'll approach and just like nudge him.
Yes, I'll have another sausage. Yes. Yes, please.
It's a couple more days and you'll have all of...
If you don't leave him on the smoker long enough, someone check the smoker. It's a sausage ready. Good morning. Morning.
Morning.
I think at that point, like Chrissy just kind of giggles a little bit, and then looks over to Farouk, and then to Kallisto.
I look in my knapsack to see if I still have some of those treats left over from the Amber Forge and the feast that we had. Still got one of these, huh?
I can hear my mum laughing and smiling, knowing that someone's still enjoying their food.
As this happens, Myshkin is going to move down the steps of the shrine towards the healing waters down below, and taking out a water skin is just going to fill it as full as he can before popping it back into his satchel.
That's brilliant.
Well, I figured it's been useful so far.
These old joints could use it this morning as well. I go down and I'm going to dip my water skin in too. I'm going to drink one even though I'm topped off. Get my osteo biflex in the morning and then refill it again. Like ibuprofen for
some. I think I just made this up and I'm deciding it now. The ointment that Kallisto uses to soothe the scarring, I think one of the ingredients of it is water from the mana pool. So he's gonna top up some of that so he can bring it over to his doctor so they can do what needs to be done to get an extra filling of his medicine, basically.
Myshkin is also going to be glancing occasionally over in Chrissy's direction, just seeing where he's at.
Chrissy is still just holding this blanket tightly. It's uncharacteristic based off of, the short time that y'all have spent, but he really has just gotten very quiet.
Noting this, over the course of the journey, I think Myshkin is going to walk near to Chrissy throughout. It's just going to hang back.
I do think before we leave, I would gently put a hand on Loluphia's arm. Just go, if you want to start leading them to the manor, I'm just going to do a quick once over of the shrine before we leave, just to make sure we've dealt with everything here. I think even a seed could regrow into a bit of a problem.
All right, everybody, are we ready? We've got to go before we lose light. Get as much walking in as we can.
On your lead.
Lily kind of just like pops up with Chrissy on his back and like shakes his little corgi butt and is like not at Loluphia's heels, but like is paying close attention.
Sam wants to pet that dog so bad.
Oh.
Figuratively,
Yeah,
for everybody dipping their water skin in the mana pools, you guys all have a lesser healing potion in your inventory now.
Nice. I'm gonna do like a quick once over of the shrine just to make sure there aren't any like cuttings or seedlings left behind that another creature could grow from, anything like that. Just gonna make sure we've done the job right.
Perception
Such a good
check.
warden.
Deception.
Could I also do a glance over as everybody's coming together? Not
Absolutely.
walk around. Mine would just be from where I'm at.
Roll. Yeah.
Ooh,
Nat
Just
20.
kidding. My husband's got this.
Let's go. Look at all these 20s dropping.
I don't want to talk
Right?
about
We're
Yeah.
out of combat.
Look
Jesus.
at that 20 that dropped.
You find like one like strawberry sized fly trap that's about 20 feet away outside of the light. It's like the one little piece that you find, and you can just pull it up with its thin roots. And it kind of just like it wilts in your
I
hand.
pull it out, and then if we haven't put out a fire yet, I'll throw it in the fire to burn it. Okay. And I will just quickly jog over to catch up with the rest of the group.
When we are off.
Anything else back at the Warden Shrine before you guys begin to head towards their lodge?
I don't think so.
I need Kallisto and Loluphia to roll survival checks as you lead us inside the wood.
Okay. We're both in a roll well. Okay, 22.
What?
22 and
15.
15. When you guys come back from break, we'll see just how long it took to get there.
Okay.
Oh man. Oh man. All right.
Well, the good
I'm gonna
news,
go get
22
Not coming back from break.
22 is a regular success, so
Yeah.
it's not bad. Too bad.
Callisto knows what he's doing sometimes.
Hang on, I'm
You
gonna
know-
roll my feats.
I don't trust this, so I'm gonna get some food and eat it like popcorn.
Do
I'll be right back.
it.
I'm good. I'm just gonna chill here.
Yeah.
I'm too excited to get up.
Too in
I
it.
need to
Well,
know.
I've been a horrible DM the last couple of sessions and been too immersed and forgot to give people a break.
No, not at all. We're right there with you. I'm just like,
Yeah.
want to play D&D.
Between D&D and Diablo the last 2 weeks, it's like, hey, buddy, go ahead. You need to kind of move around a little bit.
Nope.
Oh, Storm, thank you so much for the gifted subs. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
I have never actually seen it happen on YouTube before, so this is the first time.
Aw.
Thank you very much.
Not now, Microsoft Defender. Leave me alone.
Microsoft Defender.
Microsoft Defender. Defenders. Right, I'm going to top up my water. Now that I've looked at all of my feats, and I always forget what my feats are, I'll be back in a bit.
Me too. Looking at mine now, like, does anything help me? Wait, your feet are attached to your legs? Oh no. I should probably talk to a doctor. Ooh. I love how so many of our roles, Sam, have just been either exactly the same or one off of each other. It's been wild. It's been ridiculous, honestly, how many times it's happened
like
at this
we're
point.
married.
Also, my ping is
Yeah.
absolutely frozen, so I'm gonna do a quick refresh.
You guys have been great on OBS, so like flawless today.
That's good.
Connections
That's
have
good
been strong.
Yeah. I've been getting weird stuff on Discord, but that's just, I
Dang,
think, just
mine has
me.
just been frozen the past few minutes, and now it's freezing again. What the heck? As long as it looks good on
Really?
your side, and I'm not frozen on stream,
No, you look good on our side.
baby. I know.
I was going to say that yours just look good. Yeah.
All right, I'll be right back.
Yeah. One of these, at some point, I really want to talk to Farouk about, I don't know, him being in a free tea. I feel like Kallisto will find it interesting, but I don't know when to do it.
It's perfect time. This is you're
I guess so. Yeah.
you're undisturbed. You're traveling. This is exactly when those kind of questions. And now you're just as resistant to fire as he is.
Yeah. I still think it was still like he's still going to be very hesitant about using his flames. Because I think even with this, like his whatever he has, like some kind of affliction, but he's definitely curious. He wants to know more. Because I think his parents, his dwarven parents, told him that his biological parent is probably in a Ifrit. So I think he's always been very curious about that.
I love it. And Farouk is a bit of a mutt as well. A mixture of a Ifrit and orc, so not a complete Ifrit either.
Yeah.
Oh. Nuts.
I'm not gonna lie, I brought the giant jug today just so I didn't have to go upstairs in the office and have small talk before
Yep.
D&D, because I just woke up and I'm like, now I'm just getting in the zone. I'm going right into my headspace. I'm like, I can't be bothered today of, oh, what you do down there in that office, RoBear?
Don't talk
Same
to me
thing.
before I've had my morning D&D.
Same thing I've done for 5 years in this spot. Scream into a closet next to a microphone. Assume the position.
I assume the position. I'm gonna keep that tail down, nice and low for our viewers, I think. There we go. Are you gonna be quiet? No. Okay, I'll put you outside again.
By the way, I actually didn't mean to say this, Sam. I love your outfit.
Stop.
I can always tell when it's gonna rain because I get a migraine. I love that.
I
always
literally thought
talk
you
to my
were
knee
about to
hurts.
do a Mean Girls reference.
I was thinking exactly the same thing.
ESPN or something.
I think it's gonna rain.
I think it's gonna rain.
Whenever it's about to rain, my knee fucking kills.
That too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, my hands start to ache from my arthritis.
We're so... wow. we should be weather people. Or just...
We're actually all meteorologists.
Yeah. We're just gonna stand in front of like a green screen and go, okay, so it's judging from my pinky finger, it's going to be raining and the pressure point is going to be coming from...
Mine's always my middle finger with that scar.
So mine is never anything to do with me, but my tell for when it's about to rain, I'm always playing exactly the right music. I don't know what it is. Like, it's always like very, very good rain music, very dramatic,
That'd be so
very
interesting. That'd be
That
interesting.
is
in England,
that is interesting. So like as we're creating this weather forecast, like you're just gonna like we're gonna know because you're gonna start to play the music, and then we're gonna look at each other like my finger, my knee, my head, my body, and then
like,
we'll just
oh.
be like, it's gonna rain, you know?
It's
we
like
need a second. We need a second opinion. Hey Ed, what music are you listening to? Okay, yeah, it's definitely gonna rain. Okay.
It's like a painful hokey cokey. It's like my shoulder, my knees,
My
my
body.
toes, my whole body.
Who
My
here can
neck,
smell?
my back, my
My-
knees also crack.
Who can smell fresh water?
I can.
Oh, I
Yeah.
don't think I can.
Fresh.
I can
I
always
have an
smell
insane
too when
sense
it's
of
about to
smell.
rain.
I'm
I can
hypersensitive.
super smell that ozone. So good. It's my favorite. It's like fresh cut grass.
I loved the smell of
it.
fresh cut grants.
Hey.
Grants.
Grant.
Grants.
Grants. But when I was pregnant with my son, it made me sick.
Brutal.
It was so bad.
God, you get a
Like,
migraine during rain and this is awful. I feel.
Listen, I'm old,
Pregnancy's its own entity.
right?
It's a
Like
wild
I'm
time.
just old. I'm old. I've had 2 children. They've destroyed my body. I don't know what else to say.
It's all right. I can barely
That's
say
four.
Myshkin without saying
Full 4
Michigan.
pregnancies.
The state of
Hey,
Michigan.
Myshkin, did it hurt? Did it hurt when you fell from Michigan? Sorry, I don't know.
Did it hurt whenever you ascended from hell?
What? No, not
There
me.
is a
What?
Hell,
No.
Michigan. There is a Hell, Michigan, so it all fits.
There is? Oh
Don't
my
make me bust
God.
out my hell jokes again. I already did on my meteoric first.
Shit, everyone's
Almost got
guessed
you
my
killed.
Story.
Screw it. Every time I have a bunch of puns, you are just like, stop it, Sam, and then I almost die at the end.
Yeah, you know how you rolled a 15 on your survival check?
I've been good with jokes today, but that's because tomorrow's very scary.
Okay.
Strategically sprinkling the
I'm
jokes
being
when
a
it's less
Good
lethal.
player.
Very smart.
You're not at the session tomorrow though.
Yeah, I am. I was able to. move my stuff.
Oh, well, let's go. I love
Yeah,
it.
you think I'm gonna leave you alone after that? Absolutely not.
It's good to know. Good to know.
Damn, I'm enjoying my squashies. They're great.
Let me join you.
I have pasta
Squashy for
salad.
squashy.
I have Italian pasta salad
Yes.
with chicken. It's pretty good.
Here, cheers
Ooh.
to Squashy.
Yeah. Oh,
Here,
give me a
hurry,
sec. Wait.
cheers. Cheers. Hurry faster.
Cheers.
Okay.
Oh, what?
Sorry, it's a married thing.
Yeah, sorry.
We just roll the same.
We're just,
Nah, I'm just-
really cute.
I'm just kidding. I love love. I freaking love love.
We're
so much.
really in
This
love.
is cute. Yeah, it's very cute.
Kallisto
Yes.
with a 22. While the forest can be very treacherous. Baseline DC is 22. You take your time. You don't push a new group that's not all made of wardens. It will take you roughly 3 days from your location to move shrine to shrine. We'll pick up on day 1. Walking through the forest, heading to the next shrine.
As I think Loluphia and Kallisto are up front, or maybe Loluphia would be. Well, no, not position Loluphia. Where would you be, Loluphia?
Say that again?
Where would you be in like the pack as we move? Because I think
Oh,
Kallisto would be
in the
up
front.
front in the lead. Okay, cool.
She's not
so
a
both
follow
up
behind
front.
kind of gal.
Yeah, no, I figured as much. With their runic focus, I think this time attuned to point and direction of their lodge through the Forgotten Lands, and will for a moment look over their shoulder to Farouk, and I think this is like well into the day at this point. Like I think we're nearing nightfall at this point, and will slow down enough to be beside Farouk, and walk in silence for a while. Just honestly, maybe like a good 2 or 3 minutes of just silence before, as they're like parting shrubbery that we have to walk through, cutting down vines in the way, we'll turn to Farouk and just say, you haven't been down here for a while now, right?
That's several decades since my feet have been on the ground.
Hope you don't mind me asking, but why? You seem pretty happy to be, feet planted on the ground.
The closer to the sun, the closer we are to the Creator. We enjoy our time in the sky. It affords us a connection that being on the ground do not get to have. These are our roots and where we came from the day we walked out of the great mountain. So we return in reverence and humility. Understand what it was like to walk the path of our ancestors.
Kind of looks up through the canopy, and you can see the setting sun. I've honestly not been much of a fan of being up there. I feel more comfortable down here, strangely enough.
Where you originally come from?
Ooh. It kind of like plays up like, oh, tough question. And then becomes very serious and solemn for a moment. Honestly, I don't know. According to my parents, at the very least, I probably have Ifriti blood in me. But they don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. All I really know is the city up there. But I've never been really able to call it home.
I see. This explains your hardiness to the flame.
I don't know if I'd call it hardiness. It hurts a lot.
Pain is a manifestation.
Does your flames hurt? I've seen you manipulate and summon your own.
No, not anymore. Been long. Many years as a youth. Since flame seared is what you know. I have long embraced its warmth. It does not pain me anymore. Now it is comforting. Like a blanket. And he's going to produce flame in his hands. But he doesn't just stop there. he coats himself and lets it run up his arm as the flame engulfs his arm. You can barely see his arm underneath the flame. My people walk within it.
Out of instinct, Kallisto takes a step to the side, putting distance between him and the now flamed Farouk. Oh. I see. That's a lot. Sorry. Do you mind if you could put that out?
Not a problem. As it sends back into his hand, and he slowly closes it.
Thank you. And Kallisto will step closer again as they continue walking.
Farouk's just kind of gonna nod and take notice as he feels bad for invoking whatever memory he knows that he's invoked, but he keeps it to himself.
Yeah, no, sorry, I was just curious.
How much time have you spent at the top of the city, Stormforge?
A long time. God, it has to be maybe 30 years, maybe a bit longer. My parents raised me from 18. Then I spent most of my time here once I became a warden about 10, 11 years ago. So, yeah, 30, maybe 40 years up there.
And in that time, how many times have you visited the top of the city?
Not at all, honestly. Should I?
You should always be aware of your surroundings. Why?
That's fair.
What stops you from hitting the last rung of the ladder?
I don't know. I want to say I just never thought about it, but I did quite a few times. And the idea of getting any higher up was nauseating. So I just didn't really think much of it. And just stayed where I was, where I knew, where I could tolerate.
Stayed where you were comfortable. I think most can understand. Being comfortable is what we want in life. But you can't enjoy comfort that much. You're a warden. You blaze trails. You go where others don't. You go out of your way to be uncomfortable here on the land. Yet something stops you from getting out of your comfort up above. There is no monster in Upper City. Yet it bothers you the most.
Yeah. Because I never put it into that sort of context, but yes. I will be honest, I originally took this position as a warden because, well, I needed to do something. I was sort of a leech, or at least that's what I saw myself as. I was young. I was wrong to think that, but I thought I wasn't giving back to my parents, so I wanted to do something that they would be proud of. And trained, went through the trials to become a warden, and then found that I actually prefer it down here. It was oddly more comfortable than in the middle and lower bands of Stormforge. So I guess I like being out of my comfort zone, but a particular flavor of it, I don't know.
Is there anything about divination that creates your hesitance?
No, not really. I'm not, as you can probably tell, most definitely the least magically inclined person here. And so that stuff was always very out of my range. Never really understood that kind of stuff. But I didn't have any biases against it. I don't think I do or did.
Is there anything that you put your trust in, Kallisto? Other than obviously your family, your wife.
He instinctively looked at Loluphia, I think the back of Loluphia, who's ahead of us right now. And when Farouk clarifies, other than family, catches himself and kind of smiles before looking back to Farouk. No. I don't think so.
Well, maybe someday, whenever you're ready, I'll lead you up the rung of my ladder, just the way that you lead me through your forest. I will show you who I put my trust in.
He nods. Yeah, I might take you up on that. But I think, and again, we'll look up at the back of Loluphia, kind of like grasp at his necklace. Though I doubt I'll need it. I think I have, at least in that department, all I really need.
We always think that we have what we need.
And
If we didn't,
Kallisto will.
what
Go
would the
ahead.
point?
Kallisto will kind of smile at Farouk and then bring his speed up to match Loluphia's pace back up at the front of the group again before continuing to lead the way.
I'm gonna roll a perception check.
Ooh.
What's the temperament of Kallisto whenever you leave the conversation?
Specifically when he leaves or throughout the conversation, because I think he kind of went through a flux and shifted throughout the convo.
He's concerned about it from the fire on.
There was. It wasn't fear. You can tell he isn't scared of fire. You saw him use his flames a couple of times now when push came to shove. So him stepping away was more of I know fight is not good for me, so I'm not going to tempt fate and risk getting caught up in it. So he stepped away. But I think there was a level of envy, I think, seeing how naturally you called the flames, how naturally it enveloped you, and how naturally you're able to call it back under control as well. And it was most evident there. I think seeing it then, I think you'll start realizing other looks that you might have noticed Kallisto giving you throughout your interactions. I think specifically these couple of days have been tinged with some kind of envy, particularly when you have been doing anything that really embraces the Ifriti culture, like the dancing and whenever you point out or are seen putting on the pauldrons and the armors and the decorations on your person.
Bruce is going to have a smile on his face as he sees it as someone beginning to take interest in their own ancestry. He'll just have a big grin.
Yeah. He'll just return to Loluphia's side and continue helping with directing everyone to their manor.
I'm oblivious to however you reacted.
You're up there
Very
doing
focused.
hot warden.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, she is. Whew.
How is Chrissy looking on the journey?
Still very quiet. There's a lot of gravity for such a little person. Every once in a while, you'll see a look of recognition in his eyes for certain landmarks that are completely different to what the wardens do. But he's dissociated a little bit, I think. Still very much clinging onto that blanket, not brandishing his wings. He has become very demure.
Do you miss it? This wilderness?
Myshkin. Hi.
Hello?
Yes. I do miss it here. And you see there's this just discomfort as his shoulders kind of go up and he shifts beneath to hold the blanket. It is close enough to where I was made, I guess.
Myshkin has seen this discomfort in himself and backs off a little bit and walks in silence.
Sorry,
No, you don't need to apologize. You seem quiet, is all. Not yourself. For what little time I've known you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling a lot right now. I don't know. I don't want to guide us in the wrong way. I don't know. This is the first time I've worked in a group setting for an extended period of time. There's a lot of weight I feel, similar to the Wardens, I suppose. Maybe that vision just was more similar to what I've been feeling than I care to admit.
It is easy to feel the weight of responsibility when it is not just you that you have to look out for. I understand that. But Farouk, I mean, he is very open and trusting anyway, so I don't know how much weight this holds, but he seems to trust you. And, certainly with divination, what little I understand, I know there are those who are led astray by outside forces that would seek to do them and those around them harm, but you seem you have experience on your side, it seems.
Well,
Lifetimes of it.
that's because this isn't my first life. Still, I was created for a sole purpose. And that is to be the messenger, the harbinger, the mouthpiece of the cosmos. That's why I was made.
Humble environment for such a duty. But beautiful in its own way, I suppose.
Well, and he kind of like points off to like the southwest. There's a ley line over that way that I came through. 'Cause I was born in the Feywild. Born is maybe not the best word. Manifested, more like. At least that's what I've learned. I don't really have parents or siblings. There are others like me in my tribe. And we all have the purpose of voicing the heavens. I find a lot of myself in you, Myshkin. For as I don't know, charismatic as I can be, or I've been told. My life is one of solitude. I am more hated than I care to admit. And you see his hand kind of just press against his chest where the scar starts.
Myshkin sees this, and he looks at Kaivar with his broken vox and his strange book, and at Loluphia and the small but subtle burn scars, and at Kallisto and his covered arm, and at his own wrists. I think all of us carry a past on our shoulders in different ways.
I agree. I'm just out of my comfort zone for the first time in a long time. And my job is just to be a messenger.
Well, you make an excellent mouthpiece. Although I do have one question.
Go on.
Why a corgi?
Lily.
Yes.
So that's a funny story. See, where I was created, when we come of age and our soul sings, we are gifted a familiar. That familiar usually takes the shape of something that will balance and enhance who we are. So a Fey dragon then assumes that shape. Apparently, my soul sang for comfort, for joy, for companionship. And that's how Lily came to be. And you see like a very small tear just start to trickle down Chrissy's face.
Perhaps I can see how one might come to love such a creature. It does have a very fluffy butt.
There's a giggle, and Lily kind of very gently nuzzles at your ankle affectionately.
Down, little dragon corgi. Myshkin steps away a little bit, just flinching from this physical contact, and I'm going to see how much progress we're making, but know that you needn't suffer alone. And he just heads on.
There's a small silence before he drops a tear on this blanket And for a second, you might think that you see a small silver flower before it is gone.
Myshkin is going to just keep pace, but a little bit of distance to Loluphia and Kallisto, just keeping an eye out on the woods.
Anyone else doing anything during the trek to the next shrine?
Just watching what's in front of us. Eyes and ears peeled.
Go ahead and roll another survival check. Kallisto, Loluphia.
My goodness, girl, same thing. She's struggling.
26.
With ease, you're going to be able to get to your shrine undisturbed. On the way there, if anyone is doing any kind of downtime activity that they can do while they're walking, or even when we take and stop and make small rests, now's the time to communicate that.
I think Myshkin is going to cast Shadow Spy again. So once again, you see him pull out bird bones and a skull and wrap them in the soil of the ground and just bite into his wrist and let blood flow down onto it. And once again, you see flesh move from the dirt over the bones and create this crow that just flies up into the air and just flies above you all, accompanying us as we walk.
I think the only thing that Chrissy is doing is not seeking anything per se, but is at this point remaining very open to hearing something as needed. So he will hold on to his pendant and just very, gently under his breath, Nixie, I'm here if there's anything. Please just tell me. And at this point, after the conversation with Myshkin, is kind of just making peace with where he is.
With 2 additional eyes in the sky, Kallisto, Loluphia, you'll be able to roll with advantage on your survival checks.
Thank you.
Should we do another one now?
Now you made it back to camp.
Okay.
Farouk is going to roll 1 survival check. I'm looking for a walking stick. Rats. I haven't found it yet, but I'm looking for one of those great curled vines that's just the right height. When we first get back to camp, I'm also going to be working on some hand wraps. Just a little bit of light protection for the palms of his hands as he continues to bushwhack with the rest of the group. He's going to do that with some bits and bobs of black cloth that he has inside of his adventurer's sack. As we get ourselves out a nice little fire. Currently protected by another shrine as well, so you cannot be ambushed. When you guys make your way into this shrine, it is in much greater condition than the one that was overgrown and encountered. Kelthod has been here within the last month. Everything is trimmed up. The marble looks immaculate. Not as large of a mana pool here, but still one nonetheless. There's fresh drinking water. There is a built-in fire ring underneath. You are sheltered from the elements. Let's toss ourselves a weather check out.
I was about to ask, what's the weather?
That reminds me of working at daycare.
Cool, crisp, autumn-style breeze. It's that night cold that Kallisto and you have told the group about that can happen from time to time. It is
Are the skies clear?
Skies are still clear though. It's like a autumn evening where you are very, very much comforted by the proximity to the fire.
I will say Myshkin is going to sit on the steps of the shrine in this cool air for a little bit and just close his eyes. Just breathing in the cold air, and I will say I'm gonna roll another smile check, but yeah, it's very, very comforting. It's very comforting.
Or even at 20s, I for smiles.
Not so much. But yeah, he's just going to sit on the steps and just breathe in the cool, cold autumnal air.
I'm gonna see if I see it. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I see it. And I just kind of nod in my own, and as we were here, are we stopping here for a while, I'm assuming?
You'll be
Yeah,
spending
this
the
will be
night here.
Our night stop.
Spending the night. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I think Chrissy's gonna cast Dancing Lights again, but it's only going to be 2. And it's just they're just these very ethereal looking orbs that emit a little bit of light, and they just start kind of like dancing and frolicking, almost like 2 pixies playing in their youth. And they're just kind of like floating around him, and he is giggling. Just kind of like there's this childlike wonder in his face that's also met with a little bit of sadness. After Myshkin, it wouldn't be out of the ballpark for you to assume that this is kind of how he has spent a lot of his time being alone, based off your conversation.
Myshkin sees the blinking lights through his closed eyelids and sort of peeks to one side and sort of nods to himself, and as he opens his eyes and sort of comes to, he's also... Where is Loluphia at this point?
She's not far. I mean, you would all probably be pretty close by together. But she's awake. she's just sitting up and is actually just looking over at Chrissy and this facsimile of these pixies dancing around, and you can try and see what her expression is.
Yeah, go on then. Yeah, that seems like an invitation.
I love how we're rolling for facial expression.
Yeah,
It's a low line. You can do
I
it.
love this. Oh. There we go.
I'm gonna roll perception. I want to see.
There we go.
I see.
Callisto's busy checking around the shrines and the runes on the wall to make sure they're in proper shape. So I don't think Callisto is watching.
Drak, is that you going, I'm just busy doing my damn job?
No, this is just me giving a reason why Callisto won't be in this conversation right now.
Chrissy,
That's a
you would
big
be able to
fire.
see as you just glance over and catch Loluphia's gaze. She would look kind of sad, and then immediately change that expression before you, Myshkin, could look and see. Back to her stern expression that she usually has.
Oh. Did we?
Really good. I think
We are the fire.
RoBear trying
It won't scale.
It's okay. So now, okay.
And we
sorry.
all burn.
we all burn.
The end of Stormforge. Good luck, Kaiva.
Yeah, I
don't think
think Twitch
we're
is down.
live on Twitch. Yeah.
Oh, didn't I didn't
you
do my
run out of space?
reset, my 48-hour reset.
Yeah, 48 hours. Yeah.
It's that 3% joke you made.
They're coming for you
Only get
first.
3%
They're
of the
coming
stream
for
today.
me.
How long has it been down for?
Only a couple, like a minute.
Yeah, probably even less than that, honestly.
Oh, they didn't get to see us burning.
Sad.
Luckily, the other ones stay on forever, so they haven't. Most folks haven't missed anything. It's popped back on.
Okay. So I notice, but very quietly notice. And I think this is one of those moments where Chrissy is going to actually start to do his storytelling thing.
Ooh.
Where the lights start to kind of take the shape of these people as he talks about them, but he looks over at Myshkin and then just looks at the lights, and these lights go from two mingling pixies to one tall feminine figure. And this figure has three faces. There is one that is young, another that is about middle-aged, and another that is like the old crone. And none of them have the same expression at any point. And Chrissy just looks up and says, "It is once said that Nixie fell a tear from each of her faces. A tear of joy, a tear of anger, and a tear of sorrow." And you see this form just like make the same expression at once. She looked out onto the forest pools and the fairy dragons that playfully frolicked through the meadows before her tears fell to the ground and sprouted. As the shimmering blue-white petals unfurled a Sprite, darkened skin and light in eyes. And at this point, there's another dancing light that comes in and starts to create these shapes of flowers and pixies and sprites. Nixie leaned down and held out her hand, allowing this delicate life form to climb into her palm. Smile slid across her lips as she embraced the child. "You are," said the black-haired face. "The most beautiful," said the red-haired face in a slightly more lilted tone. "Little creature," said the blonde-haired face in a somber, joyous tone. Soon, few more flowers sprouted, and at that point, there's almost like fireworks as these flowers just kind of pop up out of the lights. Few more flowers sprouted and opened petals to reveal a small population of Sprite, each darkened skin and lightened eyes, with wings that varied from dragon to butterfly. Each of them gifted with a single silver tear as a pendant, and bestowed a name from their creator, and each of them gifted with the sight of the heavens. And then the lights then cascade upward into a myriad of constellations before trickling downwards in this light like snow before dissipating. He wasn't necessarily performing. This was practiced. This was something that he has done a myriad of times.
Roll performance with advantage.
Perfect. If I can find it, I absolutely will. Okay. $19.
As you said, it's something you've done for yourself. Not trying to make an extravagant scene out there. It's a little kind of plays to the mistiness of the woods as the images kind of blend into the background. Faroük still has a large smile on his face as he's seen it, of course, many of times, but still proceeds to applause and clap whenever it's finished. It never gets old.
There's just this heat behind his cheeks, and he's like, you could tell that he was just in the zone. Like he was just existing in this moment, as he does so often. And the applause almost like shakes him from this trance of his storytelling as he just blushes widely and is like, "Hi. Sorry about that. Okay, this is awkward.
There's
sorry.
little I desire more than a good story around the campfire, Chrissy. Thank you. It was beautiful.
You're
as always.
welcome."
From across the shrine, Myshkin nods appreciatively before moving over towards Loluphia.
Okay. Nobody happens to have an extra shirt or something.
That could fit you.
Yeah, I
Over
didn't
here.
think about that.
As for actually has plenty of extra cloth as he's done making his hand wraps.
Does he make a little shirt?
This makes a little poncho.
That's so sweet.
It's like a
little
giant,
toga.
giant scarf
If Lana was
poncho.
that nice, she would have done it. It's so cute.
Chrissy kind of like very shyly like takes it and like bows and then runs behind Lily and like quickly like throws this thing on to make sure that like his chest is covered, save for like the V.
What does this shirt look like?
Yeah, what does it look like?
Whatever you want it to look like.
No,
Farouk
you
commit.
made it. What do you want it to look like?
You already described it. It's like it's poncho chic. It's
Poncho chic with a deep V.
with a deep
On
V.
this
It look.
So honestly, like if I think what it would look like is kind of like one of those shirts that kind of just have the wide straps and like cross over and like you can wrap around.
It
And
would
so he
fit you
gets
in
that
any hipster coffee bar. You would be widely accepted.
Yeah, like it just looks like one of those like it's the tie shirts, right? Where you
$10
just kinda, like-
coffees.
yeah, but that I have to wait like at least a half hour to drink because it's so hot. Yeah, but I feel like that's what it looks like. It's just very, it's a piece of cloth that fits this small body, small torso.
Farouk is going to take out the last bit of rations of sausages and skewer them over the fire to share with the rest of the group. Last bits of a great meal.
Yes. Honestly, I could probably get used to having my mum's food for rations. I probably should ask her to do it more often. So I'll like take a bite of the sausages.
Yeah. And he produces a small gourd that he has, another jug. This will also help sustain, but also quite delicious. As he passes this gourd down, grabs a handful of small little bone chalices that he has, sets it out, and pours out this wine. It's been just the right amount of days. And Chrissy, you would know this. This is the wine that he distills down from his good berries every day as he ferments them in the gourd.
Yeah, Chrissy already is lining up with like his own like little walnut shell.
Yes, I mixed some of the wild blackberries in from the farmer's market before everything broke out, so this should be a little bit different than usual.
The blackberries? Yeah. And like he's just like wiggling and like for the first time in like a day, his wings finally like pop up and out and just kind of like flit happily.
Myshkin waves a wrist as the chalice is offered, and I don't drink. It would be wasted on me.
Interesting, I don't either.
Not a problem. He manifests 2 large, plump good berries from a small stem on the ground. As he plucks both of them, and they're the size like pomegranate. But they're lush. They feel soft, almost like a blackberry. But it's not made of many seeds. It's just one circular, large purple berry. He hands one to you, Myshkin, and one to you, Loluphia.
She accepts.
A scaled hand manifests, and the appendage takes it.
Oh shit. Yeah. He makes sure to wait that you can accept it. Here, Myshkin.
Catch with your mouth.
I take back my life debt.
Yeah. You ableist
Myshkin-
prick. Wait for me to manifest
Myshkin
my
very
hands.
gratefully accepts it.
Kallisto will say, I, on the other hand, drink for the both of us, and we'll take both chalices.
My boy.
Down them.
Chrissy is already like walnut shell deep and is like holding it out.
And I take some over to a very, very intense Kaivar. And I don't know, so I place and manifest a third good berry and place one down next to the cup. Not sure what your preference is or if you've ever had anything quite like this before, but you want to watch yourself in the cup. Around the third.
I need my hello?
The lightest of all lightweights.
He's holding out the walnut shell again.
Physical resistance 10. Good berry wine. Weakness 24.
I mean, listen, Chrissy is at the end of the day a slush. It is what it is.
Totally sneak in and cut yours with some Savannah water. Just a little bit so I know your legendary hangover isn't as bad as what it could be.
Here! Here! It was a good day. It's great. Okay. It's down the hatch, boys. And he just throws it back again. And like at this point, he just like falls backwards and starts cackling as the walnut shell like hits him in the face and is now like covering him.
As this commotion is happening, fairly confident that he will not be heard, he whispers at you, Loluphia. Just very simple. I hope I didn't overstep with your husband. And just eats the good berry. Doesn't look at you, just looks at the fire.
She doesn't lean in, but she speaks quietly. She doesn't mind if anybody hears if they want. No, you didn't. He gave you his consent, so all is well.
I know what it is to be protective, though, so...
Is this something you wish to talk about?
No, I am aware I'm a stranger amidst...
We're all strangers.
I suppose so.
Can Chrissy hear this?
Loluphia's not keeping her voice down. So if you want to hear, you can hear.
Perception disadvantage.
Perception. Well, yeah, because I am
You're hearing like
intoxicated.
the end
You're
of
two
each sentence.
walnuts deep. Oh, wait, no. Sorry.
Ed. Oh my god.
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my god.
Look at that. He's the color of Goodberry. Look at that.
I didn't realize what I'd said until I said it. I'm very sorry.
Oh no, RoBear. Ed is the new caustic. The things
What does
she
caustic-
says in character, and then we're all just
And
like
then realizes afterwards.
praising Becca.
So I'm assuming I don't hear the whole thing or any of it.
You don't,
You
Aaron. You
pick
don't
up
get lit.
gibberish.
People are talking.
Okay, so I'm just gonna sing to myself in my shell. I've got a lovely bunch of
campfire song.
coconuts.
Myshkin's ears just flick back a little bit as he just and just continues to eat his good berry.
Yeah, Lily comes over and like he's momming Chrissy so hard right now and just like snatches him by his new collar and like drags him back and like kind of shoots a glare at Farouk, like, you know better. And then like lays like he takes the blanket that Chrissy never put back on his back and sticks it under Chrissy's head and like makes Chrissy lay down and puts a paw on him so Chrissy doesn't move. Chrissy's like, hey, it was just wine.
Oh,
It's just wine.
got a whole snoot blanket over the top of you. When you boop the snoot, you literally get to do it with 2 hands.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So cute.
That's the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, and Lily just kind of like keeps his paw on Chrissy and like rests his head like on top of Chrissy's head and just huffs and goes, oh.
Sorry, it's good berry, not good steak, Lily.
Oh.
He reluctantly splits the last of his sausage with Lily.
Lily's happy. He accepts your sacrifice as tribute.
My sacrifice. I'm borrowing that.
Yes, do it. Do it. He accepts. And Chrissy falls asleep, by the way, very drunk.
After time has passed, Loluphia would reach her hand out to Kallisto. We should rest. Another long day tomorrow.
Yes, you're right.
And that goes the same for all of you. Make sure to sleep.
Myshkin nods and, looking up at the top of the shrine where the crow sits, I will just take a moment, see if it saw anything of worth, and then yes, I will rest.
Don't wander far.
I won't. And Myshkin just steps a little way off into the darkness of the forest as the crow just follows after him.
God, that was such a good crow, and the mic cut it out. I hate it so much. It was so good what I got.
Ed can be
No,
everything.
that's-
It's ridiculous.
It's wild.
How about
I've met GMs that can do a lot of like character voices. I don't think I've met a GM that can do a lot of animal noises.
And
what if I
inanimate
can?
objects. Have you
And
hear
inanimate
his,
objects,
his
yeah.
TV click in his door and VHS rewind?
I'm like a discount police academy.
Yes.
Wow.
Reform to Myshkin.
But as Myshkin heads off into the forest, the crow lands on his arm, and Myshkin looks at it. And manifesting a ghostly scaled hand, he wrings its neck, and he bites into its throat, and guzzles. And I see everything that it has seen over the course of the day.
I'm glad Chrissy's asleep because he would read you to Phil for that one.
Can you roll a stealth just so I can see
That's
if
the
I've actually seen that?
nastiest warg I've ever seen.
I kind of hope you succeed because I don't know if I want to see that.
Oh, it's
Jesus.
almost a natural 20.
Have I beaten you every time? Were you my Braum?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And as he guzzles, the soil falls away from the bones, and Myshkin is just left with this bird skeleton in his hand, which he just places back in his satchel. Would the bird have seen anything of interest over the day?
Roll your spell attack as its perception.
Okay.
Ooh.
33.
33. You get visions of roughly midday. As its eyes spy some trees about 2 or 3 miles away, bending and breaking and swaying as something moves through the forest. As
Was
it
it
flies closer to examine it, probably about a mile out, peering through the forest canopy, you see a large herd of owlbears, rubbing, scratching their backs across the trees as they go. It's a pack of about 30 of them, which is a large pack of owlbears to begin with. But even greater size here in the Forgotten Lands, as they largely run opposed to any other predators. Plenty to eat within the forest. It is a large clan group, but something you would certainly not want to stumble upon.
Can I get a sense of the direction that this herd is traveling and whether we are likely to...
Our paths crossed, but they were about 3 miles away.
Okay. So, not a problem for tomorrow then.
Maybe?
Okay. As he does this, Myshkin winces a little bit, and his wrist just reaches up to the fur on top of his head, and feeling his skull, he winces, and he just sits down behind the tree out of view of the shrine, and he pulls out a file, a metal file. And he just begins to scratch away at the bone before eventually returning to the shrine and falling asleep.
Well, I'm asleep. I can't see that, but Nunny.
Loluphia sees it, but she just takes note. And goes and sits.
Can I make a separate stealth check for that last thing I did very quickly?
I mean, she hadn't taken her eyes off you.
I hid behind
Unless,
a
did
tree.
you move away from that spot?
I did, yeah. I'm just going to do one separate.
Then yeah, do it. Oh, dang it, you were on the 20 for a second.
Oh, okay.
I was excited. Well, for the sake of it, let me do the... There you go. Nice.
Oh.
Then she would probably go and rest before you came back.
Okay.
Is everyone asleep?
Well, in a trance.
Just you're in a shrine. You do not have to have someone on watch. You are protected here. Once again, first risers will be the wardens, as it's... You naturally awaken Kallisto as Loluphia is already up. There's it's kind of like the perfect reverberation. It's those high-end kind of alarm clocks that wake you up through ambience or vibration. It's nothing that's jarring. It's the runes doing their job. It kind of rouses you at first light. Weather check.
Oh yeah, weather.
Warmth has returned. The god rays have rolled in. It is a nice, partly cloudy day.
Good morning, love.
It's gonna be hot today. I hate that.
Yes. Do you want to refill your water?
Yeah, we probably should. Can I look around this shrine just to make sure that there is nothing at all going on nefarious, potentially? I don't know if spores travel or like the little plant seeds.
Go ahead and do nature survival with advantage.
And quick question, because I just did it like offhanded, but when wardens go to shrines, is there any like procedures they go through, like maintenance checks, stuff like that?
Yeah, in particular, you will you'll deal with the runes. That's the most important part.
30.
Lesser wardens, I wouldn't say lesser. Let's not say lesser. Let's say less seasoned or newer wardens are tasked.
Fledgling.
The plebes are tasked with much more of the mundane maintenance of tidying up and keeping the property in tip-top shape. Your focus undoubtedly will be on making sure that the runes are in proper ritualistic shape. Loluphia, there are... Oh, excuse me.
Oh, no, you're good. I was going to say I already described Kallisto doing that the night before, so...
The surroundings here are tidy. You don't find any spores, no inclination that there would be a problem with the flora here. In general, this entire area has seemed very docile and safe.
Okay. Well, she would relay that to Kallisto. Well, as soon as they all wake up, we can head out and get to the next one.
That's good. Last night I went around to check the runes and they all seem to be in good shape.
Good. Thank you
So
for
we don't need
doing
to worry
that.
about anything like that. Of course, it's our job. How did
Actually,
you sleep, by the way?
you know what I saw last night?
What?
Our little cat friend being very interesting. You know his bird, right?
Yes, the one he grew.
Something or other. But it had returned to him and he just bit into its neck.
Yes, no, that's strange. Maybe it's part of the necromancy. That was very clearly some kind of necromantic magic.
It's different than any necromancy I've seen.
Just I can keep an eye out.
I don't think it's a danger to us, it's just very interesting.
Okay. Do you want to ask him about it?
Oh, absolutely. However, I also need him. We need him. So I don't want to scare him off.
Myshkin to one side just begins to stare a little bit.
All right. We'll talk more later. Just keep your eyes out.
That's good.
Farouk will
Good
wake up
morning.
with the warmth of the sun. Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Good morning. Would anyone else like to accompany me with forging the forest floor as we make
I
our
can do
first
that.
trek?
I've done that a lot.
Would warn you all, when I retrieved my crow last night, we were close to encountering a herd of owlbears, near to 30 yesterday. So we should be careful. They can be dangerous, especially in such large numbers.
My word,
Yeah,
it's
that-
Thank you.
30. They normally get
Around
that
it.
size here. That's a massive herd.
This is a massive place.
it's,
And there are massive threats as well. I wouldn't be surprised if they were perhaps fleeing from something.
Indeed.
It's a new day.
Well, I would love to see them, but last thing I would ever want to do is disturb 30 owlbears.
Yes.
I would
We-
appreciate it if you didn't.
Duly noted. I will stick
Would have to
close.
clean up that mess.
I start to stir, but like miserably. It's not a legendary hangover, I think, Farouk, but it's a pretty big hangover nonetheless.
You are nuzzled in between Lily and the circular exoskeleton of Kaivar, who is also slept near you and Lily.
I just kind of like reach up and I pat him. Hey, it's time. It's time. We gotta go. We gotta do the thing. We gotta move. We got feet. Fuck. That was too much wine. I do it every time. Wait, hey! Lily, get off me. And like, I push the walnut shell off my face. But just, that's a walnut? I need that. Lily, I need that. Lily! And I push the like, I don't even push. I kind of like slide underneath the paw. And like, I crawl over to the walnut shell. And I need this. And then I like a little old curmudgeon, right? Just like a gatherer of things. I just kind of like crawl back and put it back in the basket on Lily's back. Hey, owlbears? There's owlbears now?
But yes, near to us, so we should be careful.
I like owlbears. Well, there's a lot? You said that, right? Do we have coffee?
I am Farouk, you take this. And Myshkin awkwardly steps up. He doesn't do Nordics.
Yes. Coffee soon.
Okay.
He'll get out one of his kettles and start to prepare the campfire coffee to boil off all that acidity and get a nice, strong over the fire brew. Fills the air. Good, pleasant breakfast smell, even if we haven't foraged yet. I have my eye on trying to find some morels while we're out here. I kept a couple of eggs with me. I would like to make an omelet for everyone if I could.
Yes,
Sounds good to me.
please.
So this lodge of yours, it is still another 2 days, you would wager?
Yeah.
Is that correct, RoBear? Another 2 days?
2 days on a success. 1 day on a critical success. Nat 20, you find yourself discovering some well-kept
there.
shortcuts that bend the veil where you'll be able to
Doing
walk
survival.
through. Absolutely.
At advantage.
It's about 2 days, but the route sign here are always moving and shifting, so we might end up being lucky and finding a bit of a shortcut.
22 is a
I will
success.
roll.
Can I
Finally.
roll a survival to see if I can pick up on one of the ley lines?
Yeah, I would let you
Or
I would
Is that
let
survival
you
or occult?
definitely occultism.
Okay. So I'm still like on my hands and knees, and I'm just like feeling the ground. $27. What does that get me?
27. It gives you a distinct confidence that they are heading in the correct direction.
Perfect.
I would be offended if you thought otherwise.
No, I just wanted to see if I could tell like where we were at ley line wise and if there was something.
Yeah, you're able to you're able to orientate yourself towards the mountains for sure. You know, it's like your North Star right now. It pulls towards you. So you can tell that you've started a little bit farther south in the Forgotten Lands, and you're slowly progressing further and further.
Okay. I look over at Myshkin, but like through one eye because it's very bright. How many owlbears did you say?
Myshkin's not a fan of repeating himself, and he just sort of steadies and 30.
30.
There are 30 owlbears.
Okay. Am I gonna do my oracle thing? I might do it.
Farouk, did you need to forage?
Oh yes.
Loluphia, you gonna go with him?
Yeah, I'll take him.
Success. Go ahead and drop a survival down. We want to get as many of these morel mushrooms as we can.
Do all of my survival checks get advantage, or just the ones for the directional and day cycle?
No, go ahead and give yourself advantage.
Sick.
I will say as well, before we set off, I would have cast Shadow Spy again, so there's another crow above us.
Okay.
Loluphia side eyes you.
I would like to divine, if you will. I can use read fate or read omens as needed or whatever. But I want to figure out why there is such a big number of owlbears. Do you think read fate or read omens would be better suited?
can't remember the difference between the two. Your read omens was a
Peek into the future, choose a particular goal or activity you plan to engage with.
negative.
Okay, so then read fate is you attempt to learn more about the target's fate in the short term.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to cast read fate. And that means you, good sir, get to roll a very secret, sneaky DC 6.
I got a secret.
Ugh, that sound.
Just reading here. Chrissy,
Yes.
as you go to tap in, the powers of the cosmos, you've been largely successful for several days now. This time, you feel yourself drifting out of your body, but you're going far too fast. As your eyes go white, nat 1. Pulled from your body. As you hover over your questions that you had, your concerns over the owlbears become the least of your issues. As it has been a long time since you have walked the ethereal in this way. It's a consequence of the gift that you're given. The cosmos also comes with tests. And just as these shrines are a beacon of light for the wardens within these forests, your spirit becomes a beacon for challengers. Myshkin, your crow in the sky sees the forest canopy bend and break circular around as far as it can see, as if there is a rush and a tidal wave, a gust of wind that is blowing forwards on all sides. Eventually, the rest of you can hear this freight train, an eerie sound as the forest begins to darken and the whistles of wind grow stronger and stronger. And that is where we will pick up next week.
God damn it.
Nat 1 Cosmos roll.
Not one for owlbears is.
Oh, this is not owlbears.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, again, that one for asking questions about owlbears. something else,
Yeah,
but-
question about owlbears.
Yeah.
Fuck. Fuck. Fuck.
Hold on. I need no F-bombs for 2 minutes now.
Heck! What the cuss?
Oh, snickerdoodle.
Fudge!
Foot. Fluffernutter.
Man. I
Feta cheese.
loved that. Everyone has such interesting characters, and I love them all so dearly, and I want to know everything about them. Also, like, Kallisto... Ifrit?
I mean, who knows? He doesn't even know, really. In all seriousness, because I think they exist in the world anyway, he is Suli, which is just basically elemental can control multiple elements, and they're usually from the lineage of whatever element they can control. So usually Suli has my Suli, which is fire and water, would typically have either a Ifriti parent or some kind of connection to fire Jinn.
Right, okay.
So he doesn't actually know, but that's like his guess.
Oh, you are so screwed. Your Farouk is going to take you back. You're going to have to spend a whole day in Upper City with Farouk now. This is on his wish list.
It's on his bucket list. I love that. I'm so nervous. What have I done? Don't answer that. No, actually answer it. I want to know.
You are a beacon to things interested in the magics that you possess. I'm very excited. I've been waiting for a one for a while.
For what? A one for me?
Yeah, you've been so good.
That's
You've been on
so
it.
rude.
You've been
That's
so
so-
in control of everything. It's time that the Oracle pendulum swung.
I mean, that's fair. I think it's good. It'll be good storytelling and good character growth, but damn.
It's good. It's excellent coming off of having a bit too much wine and being, maybe a little cavalier with what you've perceived as I'm in fully control. I'm in control. I have this.
I really want to stay and geek out with everyone, but I really need to go,
Yes.
unfortunately. I
No.
love you all so much.
Love you.
But,
We will see you guys
yeah.
all next week. Let's love everybody.